The sun is shining here in Berlin. So that is a wonderful moment. You can tell I'm recording slightly later than usual, but the light is great. Anyways, welcome back. Artist Journal, October 23rd, 2022. My name is Adrian Pocobelli, artist reporter. And quick show note, I am going to be in Prague a week from today, and I'm going for 3 or 4 days, so I may just take those all off. Let's see. We'll see what the Airbnb is like. I mean, to miss 3 or 4 days in this scene is really to miss a chapter of what is going on here. So anyways, FYI. So Sabato, look at this great new series here on Solana on exchange.art, Raw Skies, and that is the name of the series. And we're going to look at a few of these. First we'll look at this, and then we'll go through a few show notes, and then we'll look at some more. $5.61. It is an open edition, but maybe he'll burn the rest. I assume you can do that on Solana too. So dust off your Solana wallet, and these are beautiful. You know, again, like institutions, I don't know what they're doing, not, buying these up by the truckload. Okay, so 6 have sold. And quick thing on just what this is, a Canon 5D Mark III.cr2 raw image format data bending glitch. So this is a glitch of a raw file. So again, photography and creating raw files. So this is some sort of glitch process. Really cool. And this is a sunset taken at Mount Sugarloaf in South Deerfield, Massachusetts, autumn of 2015. So it looks like it's processed in 2022. So anyways, very, very beautiful work and interesting from a conceptual perspective. Quick shout out, thank you to that sun is bright. Quick shout out and thank you to Moneymaker21 again for picking up this pixel art sketch that I did around the web. And this is the great thing about Tezos for me is I can put out sketches and just make a notebook. Stuff I might not necessarily put on Superware. That's where you put your big, metaphorically speaking, your big oil painting. But on Tezos, I can just create all these different series and experiment and have fun. And then there's people that are happy to collect and buy, and it's fun. It's really fun. So anyways, thank you, Moneymaker21, and also Martin Joe, who missed it by a few seconds. And so anyways, there's more where that came from. I appreciate the support from both of you. It means a lot. And also thank you to Ondi for this. Great show as always. This is not a news program, so we have the t-shirt design all ready to go. My girlfriend thought I looked a little satanic in this though, so I'm not sure she is a fan. Continuing on, but thank you, Ondi. That's hilarious. I shared it with a few people. Atmo as well, and this is just, again, enjoy. I'm trying to get some shadow for me. Enjoy the bear market here, guys, because look at this. I'm astonished by these works by Atmo, and then here Atmo is, 12 hours later saying, so happy to be featured in Pocobelli's new report. Also grateful to him for collecting these 2 pieces. I'm honored. The honor is mine, and this is the great part about a bear market, because in a bull market, all the institutions are going to be chasing after these pieces. And that could be 6 years from now. So remember Hen Collector said at the end, enjoy the green pastures or something because the war is coming. And I think that's what he was talking about is the institutions or just there's going to be a battle for all these artworks. And here it's a small enough community where basically I can make some video, 100 people watch it, and half the artists and it's mostly the artists that are in it, and then they tweet about it. That's not going to happen in a bull market, in my opinion. Everybody's going to it'll be too crazy. And again, that could be years away, but all to say, don't lament the bear market. Don't lament the bear market. So anyways, fantastic pieces here. I'm so thrilled to have those. So here we are, back at the series here. And there's a few things I want to say about this. First of all, I like Sabato is always a thoughtful artist. You might remember him, probably, I'd say he's most well known for that drawing exercises series on Tezos. And if you haven't seen that, just put Sabato's name into object and you'll find it. You'll see a lot of just thoughtful things that he does. Again, he does a lot of glitch, and just like even the title, using the banana bracket and 37, starting the series at number, 36. He's probably done 35 other experiments up until now and finally said, okay, these are good to go. And we'll just call it 36. So all these little details just really add up. Here's he's selling them different ways too, actually, interestingly. Like this one here, 39, which reminds me of Saskatchewan, where I'm from. You just have to put an offer in. And if we look at 38, this reminds me of Wade Guyton, actually, if you know who that is. He's a very famous artist, American artist, who uses printers. I actually brought up his work here, but these works kind of remind me of Wade Guyton a bit, and we'll look at Wade Guyton in a second here. So this is a bit more of a glitchy one. So again, using that raw photography, somehow, Canon 5D Mark III.CR2 raw image format, data bending glitch. So these are all kind of like sunsets and skies. So I love the simplicity here and just everything about it. The details are really well taken care of, as always with Sabato. So you can make an offer on that. And let's just keep looking here. So here's Wade Guyton. Now, you might probably a lot of you have heard of Wade Guyton. He's pretty well known, but maybe a lot of you haven't if you're just in Web3. I discovered Wade Guyton at the Whitney back in, I think it was 2007. That was his big come out show. And he did these X works, and I didn't actually think much of it at the time because I thought, yeah, whatever, just X's. But what he was doing was a kind of glitch printing using printers, and that's what he still does. And so he's actually I've come to really like his work. Yeah, it was stuff like this. And I thought it was I found it interesting, but a little boring. But I really like what he's done, say, in the last, 10 years, which is work like this. So here, again, this is using a printer, and he uses a very specific one. And then he'll put these works that's why he puts them side by side here, because the printer is only so big. And then the printer will get glitchy. You see up here. So he experiments with and sometimes I think he'll pull the canvas through it. So he's these works by Sabato kind of remind me of Wade Guyton. I'll show you Wade Guyton's, probably my favorite works by him are these New York Times. Yeah, these are great. I work a lot with screenshots. So when I saw this, actually my heart sank a little bit because I was like, oh, that's what I kind of was doing at a certain point, and I still do actually, but he does it completely his own way. And this is awesome. Hey, so Wade Guyton, look at this. Just excellent, excellent work. And so anyways, nice series by Sabato. That's on exchange.art. Here's another piece, actually, by Sabato I wanted to point out. He put out a few Chrome, as he's calling it, works on exchange.art as well. This is one I missed. This only went for $28, and this is a one of one. So anyways, sync. And so you can check out his work on exchange.art, exchange.art. Now, keeping on the Solana theme, Adelia, one of our favorites here, and a really I'd argue a fairly renowned artist in the Web3 scene, is still waiting from Form Function for them to accept her as an artist soon. I really hope that Form Function will accept me as an artist soon because the work is ready. And remember, Form Function actually denied Sabato. So I don't know, that kind of shied me away. I was like, because Form Function looks like a pretty cool one of one on Solana, but if it seems like kind of complicated. I don't know what the process is there, but yeah, it seems. So anyways, just kind of note in passing, you can go on exchange.art, Adelia. Limbo, dear audience, I think that my super rare series will be set into space. So I just wanted to highlight that because that sounds super exciting. And if you want to learn more about Limbo's work or collecting, go to the last show. You're going to see one of my favorite collectors and becoming one of my favorite artists. It took me a while to kind of get it, but now I'm just like, ooh, a Limbo work. Just kind of really liking it. So anyways, continuing on, Yuri J continues to make waves on super rare. Just sold this, I believe, for half an ETH. A really cool. I'm a huge fan of these digital works that do still lives of computers and the computer's workstation, basically. Reconstructed memory of good old days. This went for half an ETH, $656, and I believe it's, and to ADHD. So a really cool work here. So congratulations to Yuri J, who continues to go from victory to victory. And it's like, who uses the mosaic tool in Photoshop and then it looks good? Yuri J does. That's who does. So, just a totally original artist. And here's someone who was actually pointing out another work by Yuri J. So here's a letter. So really interesting, again, and using the mosaic tool. It took me a while to kind of understand Yuri J as well. Nice tweet out from Purple Drank here on Rare Force. Very cool nude by Rare Force. So they are on, Rare Force is on Object and Super Rare. I thought just a really original take on the nude here. So we're navigating the digital art world. So there it is. And you got this work here. A play on Damien Hirst, obviously. The physical impossibility of Boston Dynamics selling me one of these things. So a little bit of humor there. And so nice piece. What did it sell for? 10 Tezos each. So yeah, cool. Edition of 10. And here's Rare on Super Rare. So, and you can see, again, the robot from Boston Dynamics there and trademark nudes. Just really interesting work. Continuing on, Amelia Versace, I assume she's related to the family. She's been on Tezos for a while, I think, and she's a collector there and an artist. And so here's a portrait that she put out, which I thought was really great for the Tez Girls What Am I event. So they're putting out editions of 100 for 1 Tezos each. So I picked one of these up. Really, really nice. 3200 by 3200 abstract self-portrait by artist Amelia Versace. So I thought just a really good-looking work here. So I like the colors and just the animation is really nice too. Another work by Cello, vibing off of yesterday's victory. Just another kind of cool work here. So just a FYI, only a Tezos edition of 20. Walking and breaking mode. So again, Cello back on the scene. The next day, which is awesome. Bonica Caillou has this really great work here. To me, this is just like a classic NFT. You got the animation, you got the Game Boys, you got the screens blinking, and just a great composition. This is working in so many ways. So I just minted my NFT art on Manifold XYZ and will be listed on Foundation soon. An awesome theme, nostalgic 90s. I guess the 90s are becoming a thing. I guess they have been actually for a little while now. You see it in Berlin, in the fashion. It's hilarious. Continuing on, this is another artist that I just came across on Twitter in the last 24 hours. Someone I hadn't seen before. I thought an interesting take on abstract and on just kind of like architecture and abstract. It's just something kind of original, kind of glitchy here on purpose. Take a Long Journey, buy for $7.55. And do we have another one? I think we do. Follow Me. This work is specifically to attract other people who don't know this work of mine. Please follow me. So maybe a bit of a satire on the hyper octane NFT space. Drop your NFT and so anyways, 97 Tezos cents, edition of 52. Another work in progress, and this time from Ezra Eslin. So we know Ezra Eslin from these kind of works here, almost the Where's Waldo kind of works. And so here's a part of her process. which I thought was really interesting. You can see Spider-Man is kind of the first to be finished here, which is kind of hilarious. So anyways, you can see how detailed and just how, elaborate her preparation sketch is. It was my Ghost Order 1 of 1. So I really like seeing that stuff, the works in progress. I keep thinking I need to do all this stuff more myself. Continuing on, Daniel W., if you blinked, you missed it. There's a new weird and terrifying monster. Nice way to go through October here. This is a really interesting one called, I'm not sure if it's La Quegua or it's probably La Quegua. My Spanish is not wonderful. You can buy for 4, though. 4 Tezos. And La Quegua is a creature that haunts lonely roads. She is said to appear as a beautiful, seductive young woman in a white dress, sometimes with the voice of an angel, attracting victims, usually unfaithful men, like a siren. Siren's sort of like the Odyssey, where they're kind of like mermaids, I think. And yeah, their voices men can't resist. Once these men arrive close to take a look at her face, she'll reveal that her face is that of a horrifying horse's skull, still covered in rotten flesh. If the man does not die of fear, then he is driven mad by the sight. So, very cool, and very educational, isn't it? New work by Xander Price, The Death of Fiat. And so we got Alan Moore's V for Vendetta figure here with a Tezos gold coin. This looks like some sort of central banker or something, but I do not recognize the face. So interesting, with a skull saying Fiat, and of course Xander Price's character here. And you can almost see a skull through the red laboratory glass, or whatever you'd call that. And in a laboratory, Thrasher magazine. I haven't seen too many Thrashers. I think maybe once or twice, but I like how a new kind of t-shirt here, a hat tip to Warhol, and the Campbell soup can here, a rat. So there's always just tons of detail. So interesting work from Xander Price. And actually, let's just see how the market did on that. Pretty sure that sold out right away. Yeah, so taking offers. And so, so you had to offer at least 15 Tezos for that. And all our favorites here, all our favorite collectors in there, picking up the Xander Price work. And a new work by Gabby Walter. And this is a collaboration with Degen Poet. So the poem is here, The Sunshine, which kind of fits this episode. And so here is the poem. So I'll let you read that. You can either hit pause or go to the page here. And here's a beautiful work. Kind of reminds me of like a Dutch 17th century, like a Rembrandt or something, or 18th. Is Rembrandt 17th or 18th? I think 17th century. Nice little details too, like the furry Mickey Mouse and all sorts. Here you got, this looks like heaven, sunlight. And yeah, I mean, here, this looks like a crash test dummy mixed with kind of like a Dutch painting here, big earring. So anyways, tons of detail, very interesting, nice digital painting. What is happening with this thing? 0 of 0, has this been burned? It has been burned. So maybe there is a new version. Let's take a quick look. I don't see a new version. So anyways, I guess you can't get that one. I don't think, oh, no, you can. You can. So now it's an edition of 13 did this? Okay, so not for sale yet. That is the deal here. Continuing on, let's just get some volume here. A new work by Spuggles Maskinen. I love these small works. Let's see if it will play. So I remember in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where I grew up, in Market Mall, we had one of these photo booths. In Berlin, they have a few of them too. I think they call them teledisco, and it's kind of like a bit of a joke, but all the tourists love it. It's kind of something you do when you first get to Berlin. You go to a teledisco and you take some pictures. Anyways, a new one from Abnormal and Spuggles Maskinen. And this was also interesting here. Another work in progress. So mech.txt showing his process, Michael Micasso. So this is a minute, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll skip through it so you can sort of get a clue, and just go to his Twitter if you want to watch the whole thing. And he's got another one too. So you see him starting from 0. Okay, so that's really cool because he is a really, really good pixel artist, or one of my favorites anyway. And here's more. So it's really fun just to see all this. Twitter is really good for this kind of stuff. Like, it's almost better than Instagram because you can, I don't know, it's just easier to do everything, and you can put several images, and I guess you can do that in Instagram, but they're kind of hidden in the slideshow. So anyways, here's more. Again, it looks like, what is the name of that program? Asprite? I think that's how you pronounce it. Asprite. So anyway, and here, let me just skip through it. It's actually really interesting to see how he does the, what I call that bitmap work. That looks like a huge brush, doesn't it? That's useful to know. And then he erases some of it. Interesting. This is actually, he's revealing some, so go there, study that one. That's why I started my pixel art sketchbook, was really just to get better at pixel art. So this is pretty useful. It gave me a few ideas here. And here's the finished piece. So thank you for the contribution, Michael Micasso. We're all learning from that. And look at how good this stuff looks. Huge fan. And another pixel artist who I love, Byte by Bit, who does all those space works, those nebulas, took a screenshot and actually of a black hole of his work in the tool that he's using, this 1988 PC program 3.1, whatever it's called. So he sent that all to the collectors. See if this loads up. Yeah, PC Paint 3.1. So really cool work. You can get it for a Tezos 30. I would jump on that if you don't have it. So great work. Just another interesting, I think this is Japanese, another interesting Japanese pixel artist who's just like, let me start this from the start. It's only 12 seconds. Like, this is a pixel art work. At least it's labeled as such. Like, I mean, it looks like a quote from a video game, but look, pixel art. So just kind of interesting. Very, very interesting. Moving on, one of Hades' last 99 in 1 works on Object. So nobody bought this because nobody knew. It was up for only 5 minutes. So he might have canceled the listing before he even had the opportunity. So just kind of skateboarding, one of his themes, skate shop. And this RIP thing, good RIP, there's some sort of inside joke going on there. I think it's an inside joke, or I'm just clueless as usual as to what all these references are. Anyway, just cool work. On to AI. So just Charles AI, who we've showed a lot of his work. When they say, he had a tweet here, when they say AI art is not art, what I hear is I have no clue what art is. So yeah, so there is kind of people tell me there's a raging debate on whether this is art or not. I mean, I think, how am I not following? So, I mean, my take, it's obviously art. I mean, it doesn't just, and not all, you don't have to love all art either. Like, it's not design, like there is a poetry to it, clearly. We have seen over 100 works here, I'm sure. And we're going to see some more. But you can see just like there is kind of, acrimony is too strong of a word. But put it this way. Let me just give my take on if I was an AI artist, I would be disappointed if there wasn't some sort of controversy over is that art or not. As an artist, you have to be extremely bullish if people are saying that's not art, because that's usually the prelude to any major art movement. And it's clear that AI is a major disruptive force, and it's going to be in painting or art. So, yeah, this is obviously, now, I haven't actually seen anybody say that, but I'm sure there are people out there, especially on Twitter, who claim that and who are just saying if it's just a prompt, who cares? As we've seen in our ongoing discussion here, it's much more complicated than that. This is not a black or white issue. This is a very complex issue. And we have made several kind of iterations, small movements forward on that whole discussion, which you can see in previous episodes. Here's a work by Charles AI.eth. So here we go. So just in The style, although a little different, that Charles uses, that almost looks like an Iron Man headquarters or something there. So just an interesting, nice landscape there. And Joe Rogan's dad looks like he's dropped into Paris here, Art Basel Paris, AI-assisted digital painting, Mission and KS. So anyways, just a cool work. Nice to see Joe Rogan's dad out and about. He looks like a dandy. We were talking about Baudelaire very briefly as a translator of Edgar Allan Poe's work. The idea of the dandy, almost like the prelude, I think we could call that like the prelude to the hipster, the man about town or woman who goes about and just kind of, that looks like kind of a dandy-esque figure there. Purple Drank is experimenting with AI to good effect here. So this looked really impressive to me. And I guess he felt the same way, which is probably why he posted it. So just kind of interesting experiments here. Working on, is this the next Pepe, Savage Sword of Pepe here? So just interesting. And the artist previously known as Fax Machinovich, and what were the others? God, he's had so many great names. Now he has Très Rodunx, which I'm not sure. So here's a still life, a Nature Malt for his friends in low places. So I always like his kind of Renaissance works. I paid 15 Tezos for one of them, and yeah, but he sells them pretty cheap. Oh, it looks like he burnt all of these, so not sure what happened here. I'm not sure you can buy this, but anyways, I thought it was kind of a cool work by Fax Machine, now known as Très Rodunx. And continuing on, another work that was burnt, actually, Atelier by Sumi. I was going to buy this. It was 4 Tezos. I only had 3 Tezos in my wallet, and then she burnt them all. So anyways, I think a pretty cool work, though. Computer, again, this kind of modern contemporary studio. I love that theme. We almost saw it with Yuri J there earlier, kind of. And Sumi has been exploring this theme of the modern artist studio with computers in it. I love it. And finally, an AI work by Sky Goodman, one of his kind of classic shoe works. I don't know too much about the Lost Sneakers series, but he seems to be associated with these sneakers. And so anyways, just kind of an interesting combination of AI. What I like about Sky Goodman's work is he uses usually a whole bunch of different software and he exports. I'm a huge fan of that. So anyways, this went out for 5 Tezos and it is gone. And finally, we got a couple more works here. One by Mother Louisiane. This almost looks like a figure here. So Mother Louisiane seems to be going more and more abstract. So just kind of noteworthy in passing. Not sure what the gas station's about there, but pretty cool is what I would say. And finally, a couple of works by Walk. So I believe this is a digital artwork because I'm always confused by Walk, whether it's physical or digital. This is based on a Renaissance painting that I was actually trying to find this, and I found one that was similar, a Raphael, but it was actually facing the other way. So I'm not sure, actually. If somebody knows the painting that this is from, please leave a comment. Although you have to be careful, just actually put the name, because if you put links in the comments, I don't see them, and YouTube just eliminates the comment or completely hides it. So if you're putting links in the comments, just put the name of it if you know what that is. And finally, one more by Walk, Barney, which pairs well with Betty from yesterday. Beautiful work. I believe this is a physical work and made as an NFT. Really good spray painter. I love Walk's work more and more every time I see it. Thank you for joining me on this sunny episode, on this sunny day. I'm going to get outside. Until next time, thank you for everything and take care.